Girls, it is Thursday, April 23rd, and today is our last lesson of the week. Tomorrow, for Friday, we will just have an exit ticket. So today we are doing lesson 8, and we are doing number 2, then 3A through D, and then number 4A through D. So we have been learning about decimals. We learned about the tenths place, and we learned about the hundredths place. So just as a refresher, if I have 2 and 23 hundredths, this is the ones place, this is the tenths place, and I'm not going to be able to write hundredths, so I'm going to write on top hundredths. Hundredths. Okay. Now it takes 10 tenths to make a 1, and it takes 10 hundredths to make a 1. So remember, in these pictures, this shows 10 tenths that makes a 1. Now if I make 9 lines, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, oopsie, 7, 8, 9, and I'm really sorry about my lines, but if I make 9 lines, then you see there's 100 little squares. So actually 100 hundredths make 1. Okay, so 10 tenths make 1, 100 hundredths make 1. So we need to know that for today's lesson. So number 2, draw a place value disc to represent the following decompositions. So we're going to break things apart today. So 2 1. So I want you to make 2 dots, and please make your place value chart, the one that looks just like this. So you're going to make 2 1s. So you're going to make 2 dots. Then those 2 1s, each one is 10 tenths. So how we're going to show that, because they're trying to find out how many tenths is 2 1s. So this is what we're going to be doing today. So you're going to take that 1 1, that's 10 tenths. So we're going to make 10 dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, that's our first step. Now we got to take our other one, and now we have to make 10 more dots, because 1 1 is 10 tenths. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, how many tenths are in our picture? Take the moment, count all your dots in your tenths place. How many did you get? 20. So 2 1s is 20 tenths, okay? And think about this. How do you write 2 as a decimal? 2 as a decimal is 2.0. So look, is this similar to this? Pretty much, but 2.0 has a decimal in it. So if I took away that decimal, so if I took away this decimal, it shows me the answer, 20. So let's see if that's true when we do the next one. So again, 2 tenths. So we're going to make our 2 tenths. So I have to go to the tenths place value chart, and I'm going to make 2 dots. 1, 2. Now I'm going to find out how many hundredths. So to find that, remember, when we move to one place value to the next place value, that means we need to make a decomposition of 10. So if we're going from tenths to hundredths, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then we're going to move this tenths to the hundredths. So again, we're breaking apart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, now we have to count how many hundreds we have. So count how many hundreds. Hopefully you counted 20 hundreds. Now let's write 2/10 as because I want to show you in decimal form how 2/10 is 20 hundredths. So how do you write 2/10 as a decimal? 0.2. How can I make that into 20 hundredths? What needs to go in the hundreds place? A 0. So now, how do you say this decimal? 0 and 20 hundredths. So 2/10 equals 20 hundredths by just adding that 0 in the hundreds place. Okay, let's try the next one. 1 and 3/10, and they want us all in the tenths column. Okay, so I'm going to do this as 1, so 1 dot in the 1, and then 3/10. So 1, 2, 3. Now, we don't have to move any of our tenths to the hundreds because they're asking for the tenths. We do have to move this 1, though, to the tenths. How many dots are you going to make? Hopefully you said 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we have our answer. Count how many dots I have or on your paper. Hopefully you said 13. Now I want to show you how 13/10 can look like our decimal. So 1 and 3/10, how do you write that as a decimal? 1.3. Again, look at these first two in this column. If I take away that decimal, do I have my answer? Yep, 13. So that works for the tenths, only if we're trying to find tenths. Now, if we're trying to find hundreds, there's a different method. So let's look at the next one. 2/10, 300. So again, let's make our dots first. So 2/10, so 2 dots, and then 300, so 3 dots. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now they want everything in the hundreds, so these can stay the same. The 3 dots in the hundreds are staying. Unfortunately, we have to move the 2 dots in the tenths to the hundreds. So again, we move, and how many dots are we going to make? The magic number is 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And move this over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, take a minute and count all your dots in the hundreds place, please. Hopefully you said 23. Now let's look at the decimal for 2/10 and 300s. How do you write 2/10 and 300s? Do you have any holes or do you have any ones? No. So 0, decimal. What's in our tenth spot? The 2. And what's in our hundred spot? The 3. So our answer is 23. See how that worked? 2/10. All we had to do was add the 0 in the hundreds place to find our answer, which was 20. And for this one, they told us the answer if we just read it in decimal form. So 0.23, our answer is 23 hundredths. So we're going to try to use that method going into the next two problems. Oops. So we're on 3A, B, C, and D. So first we're going to do, so it says decompose the units to represent each number as tenths, okay? So 1 equals how many tenths? And hopefully you know our magic number, which is 10. And that's only for the tenths, okay? So 1 equals 10 tenths. And let me show you why. If you write 1 as a decimal, 1.0. Again, what's that trick whenever we're trying to figure out the tenths? If I take away this decimal, what does 1 and 0 look like? It looks like 10. So we're going to try to use that strategy as solving B, C, and D. So again, 2 equals how many tenths? Well, let's write 2 as a decimal. 2.0. Take away the decimal. What's our answer? What's 2 and 0? 20. Okay, that's how you do B. Let's try C. Now C, they already had 1.7. So again, you could make your place value chart and do it just like we did in number 2, or you can use our trick of it's already 1.7. So what do you have to do with the decimal? You got to take it away. And what's our answer? 17 tenths. Okay, let's try another one. Our last one is D. Again, 2.9. So what do you have to do? Take away the decimal. And what's your answer? 29. Okay, that is for 3A, B, C, and D. So that is simply writing it as a decimal, then taking away the decimal and finding our answer that way. Or, of course, you can go back and you can do the place value chart and move your place value disk. Okay, so number 4, decompose the units to represent each number as hundreds. So remember, hundreds, not tenths, hundreds. So 1 equals how many hundreds? Well, again, now we're going to write our decimal for 1 as this. So 1.0. That was in the tenths place, but now we have to write everything to the hundreds place. So how many zeros should I actually attach to 1? 1.00. And let me erase that down. 0, 0, because this is in the tenths and this is in the hundreds. Okay, so whenever we're trying to talk about the hundreds, you have to have all the digits all the way to the hundreds place. So again, what do you think our answer is going to be? So 1 equals how many hundreds? 100. Because if you take away that decimal, you have your answer right there. 100 is 100. So again, let's try doing that strategy over here. Write 2 as a decimal to the hundreds. So 2.00. Then take away your decimal. 200. What's our answer? 200. So 200. 2 equals 200 hundreds. Okay? So that means that we have, remember when I made this picture up here of 100 hundreds equals 1? Well, then I just made the picture about doing another 8, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So again, look, that's a picture. This shows, the blue shows 1. The picture of the blue and the green together shows 2. So that's how I'm getting those answers for 4A and B. Okay, now we have C. So 1.7. Now, unfortunately, we're going to have to change 1.7. Like I said, if you're dealing with the hundreds place, you got to fill in that place value. So let's rewrite 1.7 as a decimal into the hundreds place. So 1.7, what do you think goes in the hundreds place? If we don't have anything, what goes there? 0. Okay, now we can use our trick. Take away the decimal, put our numbers together, 170, 170. Okay, our last one of today. Again, 2.9, we have to write that decimal all the way to the hundreds place. So we got 2 in our ones place, 9 in our tens place, and what goes in our hundreds place? 0. Now we can take away our decimal point, and our answer is 290. So even if you look at 3 and A, you can see we have almost similar answers. But the only difference is that you have to add an additional 0 for A, B, C, and D because we're dealing with the hundreds place. So look at that. 3A, the answer was 10. For 4A, the answer is 100. So all I did was add another 0 to the hundreds place. Now I'm going to give you, if you're watching this video, a little hint for tomorrow's exit ticket. One of the problems is going to be like this, and one of the problems is going to be like this. So if you want to practice problems like that, I would make up some decimal points. So for example, I would do 4.3 and I would try to make it into, I'll write it so we have more room. 4.3, I would try to make it into tenths, and I would try to make it into hundreds. So if you're watching this video, here's a little hint for your exit ticket tomorrow. I would do practice problems for 3 and 4. I also want to show number 5. I know I did not assign this, but I really do think this is great practice because this goes over everything that we have learned in the past 4 days, and this will probably be on your exit ticket tomorrow. So if you need practice making a decimal into a mixed number and making it into a tenths and making it into a hundreds, then I would definitely take the time and practice those skills, okay? Other than that, that ends today's lesson. Can you believe it? We are at the halfway point of our module for module 6. So you guys are doing an awesome job. I will actually see you guys on Monday for the next lesson, for lesson 9. Remember, tomorrow you just have an exit ticket to finish. So I hope everyone has a wonderful Thursday and have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday.